Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. Welcome back to my channel. Let me get out of this gas station. Getting on the road, headed home from work. Didn't even change out of my work clothes. So I'm going to talk about something I've been talking about a little bit lately. You know, this Mandela effect thing's been on my mind for some reason. And I wanted to bring up the book 1984 by George Orwell. Because in that book, for any of you who haven't seen that book or read that book, or listened to it, I was going to give myself and my brother a quick plug. My brother and I started a podcast, and we review audiobooks, and we've recently just started doing some kind of roundtable talks. So if anybody's interested in that, go check it out. It's Knights of the Pageless Library. Find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, all that jazz. But we would greatly appreciate anybody going and checking that stuff out for, you know, some audiobook reviews and such. Anyways, I've only listened to 1984 one time, but I mean it really resonated with me as kind of scary almost. I'm not gonna rattle off a whole lot of stats and stuff about it because it's been a while since I listened to it, and I am not smart enough to probably understand most of the undertones and more complicated subjects that it talks about. You know, I'm a very simple person, but what I do know is in that book, the main character works for the government, and in this dystopian type of future that is 1984, the government basically controls everything that anybody does. And the way that I am equating this to the Mandela effect in a way is because in that book there are literally sections of their government devoted to taking history books or any type of media and literally just rewriting them and then putting new like a new version out. And they basically say that once, you know, if you change a book, the people who are around at the time that you change it obviously are going to know, maybe. But they also have rules in their government that if those people talk about it, you basically kill them. However, they said pretty much like 2 generations later, nobody will know what the old version said. The new version will be the only accepted and only acceptable version. They also talk about how, like, they'll say things like, you know, we are at war with, well, I'll use, like, right now for an example. Like, say, right now, I said we are at war with Afghanistan. The government would say we're at war with Afghanistan and tell us that. Next week, all of a sudden, it could become, no, we're actually at war with Brazil. People are like, wait, weren't we just at war with Afghanistan? No, Afghanistan's always been our allies. We've always been at war with Brazil. And that just becomes the new accepted. And if you don't accept it from the government, then they just kill you. The thing about it is, though, in this dystopian society, there are the government workers, and then there are the proletariats, the proles, which would basically be like me, like most people. They are the kind of lower end workforce of society that the government does just enough to basically keep them from revolting. And I thought, well, that kind of sounds familiar in a way. They literally say things like, you know, we have to provide them with alcohol, and we, you know, provide them with shopping and jobs that pay just enough so that they can get by, you know, and basically they keep them just happy enough to continue working. So, kind of getting off on a tangent, I'm talking more about the book than I meant to. Mostly what I wanted to kind of iterate, though, is how that is kind of scary. The Mandela effect itself is sort of scary because obviously I know things changed. I talked about that in a previous video, that I know things could just be changed. Like, the people who came up with Smokey the Bear or Smokey Bear or whatever, they can change his name whenever and however many times they want. They don't have to tell us when they do it. They just don't. There's nothing weird about things changing. I understand, though, the Mandela effect type of deal where it's more than that. It's more than just like a name change. Now, people are latching on to like name changes as like mind-blowing things. I don't think those are the big things. The things that really stick with me are the collective thoughts of people now not making any more sense, basically. Like, everybody knows that in Silence of the Lambs, he said, you know, hello, Clarice. But no, he didn't. Everybody knows that, you know, that might not even be a Mandela effect. That might be just people misquoting the movie so much that it now became truth. But, like, I'm going to draw a blank on all my biggest Mandela effect. Okay, so we'll just use why, you know, Nelson Mandela. Everybody thought he died in prison. And like, everybody knew that. Everybody knows he did. But then, he didn't. And everybody's like, well, how did I not know that? I specifically remember that happening. Or, like, the Sinbad movie, the genie movie he was supposedly in that doesn't exist. But everybody knows, my wife included, knows she saw that movie. I don't think that. I never saw that movie if it existed. But all I know is what I'm hearing now is that movie doesn't even exist. But how do we know someone is not someone, government maybe, who knows, is not just taking these things and just changing them without our knowledge? Sinbad clearly says, he has stated multiple times, I was never in that movie. Well, it's not very hard to pay someone, even the someone that is the prime subject. Hey, we'll give you $1 million. Just say you were in this movie. Okay, and then they go on the internet and they delete all records of this movie and they wipe it clean. Now, why would they do that with a simple movie? I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. I know in 1984, they specifically changed things for a reason. You know, funny enough, a lot of them are stupid reasons that they changed them, but because it's government, you know, it will change to read the way we want it to, basically. So, I'd like to come out with one video here soon. Maybe I'll record it next after I gotta eat something. I'm starving. But I want to talk about, like, some of these issues with, like, I'm gonna go back to, you know, some religious talk and stuff. Not that that's my forte by any means, but I just think that a lot of that stuff is kind of similar in a way, where people just believe, you know, what they're told by their book, you know, without question. Oh my god, I'm gonna pass the semi in a terrible fucking spot. Doing almost 90. You all bared witness to that. Whoa, can you guys see his headlights? Look at his headlights. What are they doing? Weird. Sorry, I know you guys don't really care. That's just crazy to me. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm hungry and I'm excited to be going home from work. It's been a long one. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.